Lakers calendar, back-to-back with the T-Wolves. Then it's the Hornets. Then it's the Hawks. Then it's at Phoenix, at New Orleans. So fun 5 games coming up. LeBron goes for a triple-double in 30 minutes. He's now speaking with Mike in the media.
Hey, LeBron, not sure what you can share about this, but it looked like AD showed you something that made you laugh, at least on the TV screen on an iPad in the fourth quarter. And anything that he noticed or just in general you can share about that?
Nah, just trying to have a good time, throughout the course of a season, just keep the smiles going, laughs going, and that's what it's all about.
Hey, what did you make of the bench tonight, and particularly the trio with THT and Trez and Kuz and what those guys gave you?
Just high energy, and it resulted in some very good plays for our ball club. Trez from the start was aggressive, finishing at the rim, finishing and ones, getting that second possessions. Kuz's energy has been like this all year, so we expect that from him. And then THT just came in and was very poised. A very poised game tonight, getting 10 assists and also attacking the rim as he's done all year, just being very efficient. So they were great tonight.
Taylor has mentioned at times that his strategy in practice sometimes is just to kind of shut his mouth and try to learn and try to listen. And have you seen anything from him? Just even going through a rougher patch for a little bit before the break, and then coming back with a game like tonight, and what that might say about his growth.
Nah, he's just a sponge. Like you said, he don't say much, but when you talk to him, you can tell that he's listening. You can tell that it's getting stored, and he applies it onto the floor, so that it's getting through. So. He's been really good. Obviously, he's gonna hit a rough patch. He's still young in this league. He didn't really get any minutes into the bubble. So this is basically his rookie season, and he's gonna learn from his mistakes, and we're okay with that. So, we're delighted. We're happy we got him.
Dave.
Right. Kuzma said that AD, this period over the last several weeks, has been as vocal as he's experienced him as a teammate. And obviously, AD's been so accomplished so far in his career. Whatever he was doing prior to this stretch was working for him. But how have you seen him being able to be comfortable using his voice, and how that's helped the team, even though he can't be on the court?
I just think he's just trying to lead any way possible. Obviously, he can't be on the floor and be able to do the things that he does at a high level. So, he's just giving his word to, a lot of the guys, being there for him, showing them things on the iPad, on the film side throughout the course of the game, and, just being helpful to our ball club as much as he can be. And, I think that's great for our ball team.
Bill?
Hey, LeBron, when you go back to the fall and when you first heard that Trez might be an option in free agency, how did you see him fitting? And, I guess, has it more or less been what you expected in terms of how you saw him coming in as a fit?
I felt that if it was a possibility, how he could work in our team, he would give us instant energy and instant scoring off our bench. And obviously our team last year, we kind of struggled a lot, with our bench scoring. So I felt like he would make an immediate impact on our ball club. And it's been just that. The thing that he's been, working every single day is continuing to, on both sides of the floor, and he's continued to improve, over these 35 plus games. And it's been great to see his growth.
Dan?
Hey, LeBron. Tonight was, I think, career triple-double number 98 for you, closing in on 100. Obviously, it was important. You stayed on the floor, took the foul, got off. What is it about that statistic that you think that statistic maybe more than any other kind of encapsulates your ability to put an impact on the game?
Yeah, I think so. I think for me, just because I've always wanted to have a triple threat, game where I'm, one, I can pass the ball. I love passing the ball to my teammates and getting those guys shots, getting them good looks. Being able to rebound, that's always important. Rebounding wins championships, as great Pat Riley would say. And then being able to score a little bit too. That's probably the least out of the three for me, but to be able to be on the court and you can, control the game in 3 different facets of the game. And it's always been important for me to do it in a win. The losses never, mean much to me, but to do it in a win, it felt like you made an impact. And when it happens in the flow of the game, that's what's also, more important. So I guess you can say so.
Couple more, Kyle Goon.
Hey, LeBron. Obviously, when you're whole and healthy, like the style is going to change, the minutes and responsibilities are going to change. But what is the value of winning games shorthanded like this, where guys have to adapt? What is the value of this come, when you're trying to make a playoff run and win series?
That you can key on anyone. You can call for anyone on our ball club who's ever in uniform throughout the course if it's a playoff run, and you can rely on them. So we're shorthanded. Missing obviously two of our starters. Missing some pieces to our ball club that's helped us win a lot of ball games. But we have a next man mentality, and guys are just trying to do what they need to do to help us win, and that's what it's about.
And as a follow-up, is there anyone who's new to the team this year who's really earning your trust in a way that you kind of feel like when the playoffs come, like this guy's definitely ready?
Yeah, Taylor. He's new. He got a little bit of minutes last year, but he's new. We got veterans, and Trez. I know he'll be ready. I know Dennis will be ready. I know Mark will be ready for the postseason run. But Taylor is new pretty much, to a extended, season. So, but I know that he'll be ready for it as well.
Last one, Rachel.
Hey, LeBron, we're 10 days away from the trade deadline. Then all the buyouts afterward. It's just kind of become this frenzy of activity, the transactional nature of the NBA. It's changed a lot from when you first came in the league. What have you seen just as a player? What is that experience like, knowing that you've got sort of these 10 days week coming up, where you're going to have all this activity around the league, and you guys are kind of watching it happen the same way we are?
Yeah, I mean, you're watching it and learning about it and hearing about it on the fly, unless it involves your team. That's pretty much it. Unless you have any type of transactions that happen with your team, you really don't get too much involved into it. Besides just having sidebars and saying which team improved, which team didn't improve, which team could have got this guy or that guy, whatever. Teams are always just trying to figure out a way how to get better, especially the ones that believe they can make a run for a championship. So that's the way it's always been not always, but for the last, 5 to 7 years, 10 years of my career, with the trade deadline and the buyouts and things of that nature. So it's 10 days. There's going to happen really fast, so we see what happens over the next 10 days.
We sometimes see like arms races in conferences. A couple of years ago, when the Raptors won the title, right at the deadline, the Raptors made a move, Milwaukee made a move, Philadelphia made a move, everyone kind of in that conference, obviously going off each other. Do you expect that in the West this year, with sort of how close some of the teams are?
I have no idea what to expect. I don't know what's going on behind closed doors with a lot of the franchises, and I won't speak about other franchises. All I can do right now is worry about what we do on a day-to-day basis. We love what we got going on here. Obviously, everyone is looking to get better, see what happens other than that. But, my mindset right now is Minnesota Timberwolves tomorrow night in Staples, and then going from there.
Thanks so much.
Hey, Kuz, you spent a lot of time on the court tonight with THT and Montrez, and both of them had individual performances, right, plus the collective. Just wondered what you thought of their game and how that boosted your unit there.
Trez was Trez, but, THT had a hell of a game tonight, doing everything, getting downhill, getting into the paint. That's one thing that, we've really been trying to talk to him. I've been trying to talk to him about is, once he gets in the paint, he's probably, one of the, 2 or 3 best players to penetrate in the paint. And he's so gifted to, look weak side, look strong side, and hit guys. And he did a great job with that tonight, to having 10 assists and scoring as well. So
we had you on the pregame show on Spectrum, and you were talking about how playmaking is kind of that one area where you still want to grow and improve with the rest of your game. And tonight you had a number of kind of nice setup passes on the interior. Was there anything that you were reading in the game that helped that along tonight?
I guess I just spoke it into existence. It's funny, but no, I was just, playing the game of basketball, just trying to make the right reads every time. Somebody came to me, somebody stepped up, hitting Trez a couple times, and just trying to make the right basketball play every time down and, play winning basketball.
And since you had such a strong game and you won, can I ask you about the airball tactical free throw?
Yeah, San Francisco had a 3.5 magnitude earthquake. And I don't know, I got scared and just went over to the far left.
Dan?
Well, that was going to be my question too, so that's not as fun. When a night like this, when the passing is so crisp, do you think that's contagious with the team?
Super contagious. It's just a fun brand of basketball, and that's the type of basketball we have to play while AD's out. I think that's one of the funner games we've had as a team this season, having, I don't know how many assists we had, maybe a plus 30 assists. And it's just fun. Everybody's touching the ball, everybody's moving, and you can't really guard it. Anytime you have that many assists, you're probably going to win the game.
More to come on. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention his defense, because his first couple years, that's what everyone talked about. Can he defend on the perimeter? Can he switch? And you saw parts of that game getting better last year. This season, it's been a complete turnaround. He got switched on to Steph. Yeah. He did a great job on Steph. I mean, no one can guard Steph, but he did a good job of staying in front of him. You have to give him credit for how hard he's worked on that end.
And good job for the Lakers and Kuz for coming to that agreement before the season, giving him a 3-year extension for about $40 million. That hasn't even started yet. That kicks in next season, but already looking like a really good value for the Lakers. I'm sure Kuz is happy, too, to get his money. Like you said, Geet, becoming a real solid two-way player. Double-double threat almost every night, especially with AD out of that lineup.
I'm going to go to Vogel, but you look like you want to say something.
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Okay. All right. The thing we talk about Kuz's defense, he's gotten so much better. But the one thing we don't talk about is he doesn't quit now defensively. That's why he's able to get those block shots. Before, he would kind of die when someone beat him and just look around like, what do I do? But now he's coming back to get that weak side block. So that's the way he is learning. He's learning how to keep playing. Don't quit.
By the way, Trez had 27 and 5. We haven't even had a chance to talk about him yet. Let's go hear from Frank Vogel. He's speaking with Mike in the media.
Hey, Frank, just want to ask you first about the ball movement. It seemed like there were a lot of extra passes up and down the roster. Was there anything you noticed about that as it evolved throughout the game?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what we've been preaching all year, to share the basketball, play for each other. I thought in particular tonight, when we got to the paint, we made better decisions than we've been doing the last few games. But we've been sharing the ball like this for some time. We just haven't been knocking down shots from the perimeter, and I think you saw that tonight, along with some other finishes at the rim.
Frank, the bench tonight was, obviously very effective and efficient. In theory, you should be shorthanded given the guys that were out, but having Kuz and THT and Trez there, anything with that trio specifically that you saw?
Well, they all played great. We sprinkled in a starter with the second unit, and we threw them off a little bit with the zone. Their second unit has been playing well, so we threw some zone at those guys and were able to go on a run in the second quarter. But Taylor, Kuz, and Trez all had terrific nights, scoring the ball, making the right plays, extra passes, and our whole group defended at a high level.
Just to focus on THT for a second, Frank, it seemed like there were a couple of weeks where he was a little down before the break, as you may expect. Is there anything that you've seen in his game or his mindset, over the break that had him get a kind of a breakout performance like tonight?
It's tough to say, and we're always on him just to make sure he's making great decisions in the paint. He's got a unique ability to get in the lane, and he's figuring out the length of the NBA game. When to go for his finish. He's got great English on his spin shots at the rim. But sometimes he forces in there, and we've been on him to just make sure he's making great decisions once he gets to the paint. So continue to live in the paint, and as you see with the 10 assists tonight, you saw he made great decisions.
Kyle?
Yeah, Frank, just following up on that. Last year, obviously, Taylor played, and you sort of used his length defensively, and that was sort of the reason for a sub. Are you seeing more areas where you could trust him in a playoff series to play rotation minutes?
Oh, for sure. I mean, just the amount of minutes and, opportunity that he's gotten this year. He didn't have this under his belt last year. He joined us in the bubble. Basically haven't played most of the season in the G League, and had very little experience. So to throw him in there in a playoff series just showed the type of confidence I had in him. But it's a whole nother level now, of course, with him basically being a rotation player all throughout this season.
Dan?
Hey Frank, with Trez and the way that he gets his offense or can get some of his offense, how much of that is just feel with other players and kind of him finding spaces and other players kind of getting used to where he's going to be? And have you seen any growth in that maybe over the last 10 games or so?
Yeah, well, it's just one of those things that players have to learn each other. There's relationships that have to be built and grown throughout the course of the season, and I think our guys are learning that, and they're growing in that regard. And then he's got a unique ability to, like you said, to find space in the paint, and he's a great finisher and he's a great catcher. Of all types of pocket passes and extra passes that our guys are making to him. He catches everything, finishes everything. So you saw what he had in terms of his performance tonight, 11 for 14. That's just indicative of what we're talking about.
Taylor, what got into the bench tonight? You, Trez, and Kuz especially just erupted. What were you seeing against this Golden State Warriors squad?
We just wanted to come out and be aggressive. Having guys out and, dealing with injuries, you got to have the next man up mentality. So just being able to come in, being aggressive and have some success was great for us tonight.
Yeah, you're missing Caruso in addition to the two starters with AD and Marc Gasol out. But focusing on the bench for a minute, what is it like playing with Kuz and Trez, two guys that can finish, of course, really well around the basket? Kuz can hit threes. A lot of firepower there for you to deal with.
It's great. It makes your job easier, as a ball handler and somebody that has the ball in their hair sometimes. So just being able to have those guys out there is it's a plus. And, I feel confident every time I'm out there with them.
All right, just the second game after the break now. What did you feel like the All-Star break did for you guys? It really looked like there was a lot of energy throughout the roster on this one.
It just gave us a break. We had the shortest, I feel like, turnaround, in history. So just being able to have them, the days off, gave us, a little break that we needed. So just being able to have that, it gave us some confidence coming into the second half of the season.
And then, Taylor, just for you individually, did you look at anything over the break or just talk to some of the coaches, look at some of the film from the first half and notice anything about your play that you're able to carry forward into tonight's game and then into the rest of the season moving forward?
Just, for the rest of the season moving forward, we just want to keep getting better. That's the main focus. So just being able to have the opportunity to get better around the great players that we have on our team is great for me and my career.
All right, Taylor, big 18-point, 10-assist, double-double tonight. We appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It's like choosing between your kids when everyone has such a good game. I'm looking at Trez's line. I'm looking at Kuz. We're talking KCP. LeBron with a triple-double. But since THT just talked to Trudell, let's discuss. 18 points, 7 of 10, 10 dimes. He goes double-double, 18 and 10, big game. I don't know. For me, that's his best. He was under control. He was aggressive. He got everyone involved. He hit shots. Best game.
He played the point. He handled the ball well, under control.